What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this very fast review of Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 14 Reunion Part 3. So when the reunion begins, when Part 3 begins, they're still going back and forth. Sheree and Drew are still going back and forth about Anthony the assistant and all the things that he said about Ralph and Sheree owing money and all of that stuff. So basically the consensus was that Anthony was just someone who was starting mess. There was no validity to anything that he was saying. I don't know if he was trying to get a spot on the show or what his real agenda was. And so everybody agreed that he was just somebody that was just starting mess. No one can take anything that he says seriously because he backtracked to almost everything that he said. Sheree didn't owe him money. Ralph is not gay. He doesn't think Ralph is gay. The only thing that he said that might be believable was that Drew was just looking for a storyline. I don't know. So after that, they talk about Fatum. Sheree's friend Fatum, who did the background check on Drew and Ralph. And Drew says that the background check, the results of the background check was really pulling up Ralph's father's information, not Ralph himself, because him and his dad have the same exact name. Ralph is a junior. So all that information about using aliases and whatever else came up, Drew explains it away by saying that's probably his father's information, not my husband's information. Who knows? Who cares? Because whatever information Fatum found, I didn't find it very interesting, so it wasn't even worth talking about. Then the husbands come out. And when I tell you Ross was looking sharp, Ross was looking sharp. So the first thing that they ask Ross is, what did he think about Kenya's comments about him being aggressive? He said, well, I understand where she's coming from, but I don't think it was right for her to say that because I was just trying to protect my wife. I think Kenya said that she wishes that she had a man to protect her like that. I think that's what Kenya said. I'm not sure if that came out of Kenya's mouth or somebody else's mouth, but that was said. Candy must be tired of, people always looking at her husband like he doesn't do enough, he doesn't contribute enough. It's like this running joke that, Todd is a kept man. I wonder if she gets tired of that, or if she's just kind of like, whatever, I know what I have at home, so I really don't care what the people have to say. Then they start talking about Marlo and what she said about Todd cheating on Candy. Marlo said that she was just, trying to be shady. She thought she was being funny. She doesn't think that Todd cheated on Candy. She never heard that Todd cheated on Candy. She just thinks that all men cheat. So she just assumed that maybe Todd was cheating too. But it wasn't coming from any type of reliable source. It was just her talking mess on TV. And I'm just like, how can people feel comfortable to be so reckless like that on television, to say those kind of things to other people that could possibly affect their marriages? Because I wonder if Marlo is just like, oh, I'm gonna just say whatever the hell, or any of these women. I wonder if they're just like, you know what, I'm just going to say whatever so I can have a funny moment, so I can go viral, so they can use, my sound bite when they're promoting the show. And I'll just apologize at the reunion. I'll say whatever, and then I'll just apologize at the reunion. I wonder if that's their mentality or their train of thought, because it's just shocking that people feel so comfortable calling out other people's husbands for cheating and whatever else they called each other out for, knowing that they're saying what they're saying is not even true. It just baffles me. So anyway, Marlo apologizes for that. Todd is like, okay, whatever. They asked Sheree if she believed or where did she hear that Todd was cheating, and Sheree said that I never heard that Todd was cheating. I was just piggybacking off of what Marlo was saying. Wow. And then y'all wonder why Candy doesn't like y'all. Okay. Todd says, they asked Todd about his parenting style. They asked Todd, well, how do you feel about the fact that Candy basically spoils Riley, but you're very hard-nosed with Kayla? And Todd said that he's from the Bronx, and so he's just gonna, do this tough love thing with Kayla because it's just gonna make her stronger. And he says that right now Kayla is doing really well because he's teaching her how to be independent, how to do for herself, and not to always rely on Todd and Candy's money. And that's fine. If that's how you want to parent your child, that's fine. My whole thing is, why do you have to say I'm from the Bronx? Like, people in the Bronx don't ever spoil their children. Not a single person in the Bronx kind of gives their child a helping hand. I don't think nothing has anything to do with where you come from. It's just who you are as an individual. There are people in Beverly Hills who are hard on their kids. And I know there's got to be people in the Bronx who want to be easy on their child. So I don't think it has anything to do with where you're from. So let's stop with well, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from New York, well, I'm from Boston, and I'm from Detroit. I don't think it really matters. If you want to spoil your child, spoil your child. If you want to be a little bit more strict with them, be a little bit more strict with them. I don't think it matters where you come from. They asked Ralph, Drew's husband, did he actually fire his assistant? He said that he did. He apologizes to Drew for not letting his love for his wife show more on the show. He said that I could have shown her more love and I regret that I didn't. Yeah, you should regret it because, I mean, you really do not treat her right. I don't even know if that was grammatically correct. You really do not treat Drew right on the show. I don't know what's going on between Drew and Ralph. That relationship to me is like extremely problematic. They're still in counseling, which is good. We can't ask them to do any more than that because they definitely need the counseling because there's something about that relationship that's just a little bit off to me. Drew talked about how she felt like Candy and Kenya were kind of shady towards her business. Candy said, look, the reason why I was throwing shade at your business was because the way you presented it to us was not how it actually was. You made it seem like you started this business on your own from the ground up. Well, come to find out, this is somebody else's business. You're just the face for them. You're just helping basically with promotions. You're just the face for that business. But another person started this whole drop it with Drew thing. So Candy was like, that's the only reason why I was making fun of it because it wasn't quite what you said it was. So it was all very confusing to us. Sheree apologizes for saying that Drew looked like a busted can of biscuits. She did apologize for that. Ralph says that he should have listened to Drew more when it came to like doing things for her. I think he was referring to, I'm not sure, but I think he was referring to when he had that very special dinner planned out for her. He got her an outfit and he took her to, I don't know whose mansion that was. He took her to somebody's mansion to eat dinner and he was trying to make it very, very special for her, but all she wanted to do was talk about their problems. I'm thinking he was referring to that moment when he said that he should pay more attention to the things that she liked so that he can, cater to that instead of doing the things that he thinks that she would like. He admitted that he does gaslight her. He does see that, thank God, because you're like, you take the crown on that. And Ralph said that he never told Drew. Oh yeah. So they talked about his book. Andy was like, how could you think that Drew would have been okay with you writing a book and using, your own family, in that book without her even knowing about it, talking about what y'all were going through with her son and the adoption and all of that. You put that in the book and she had no idea that you were writing about this stuff. And I forgot what lame excuse he gave, but he tried to say that Drew knew about the book. And Drew said, no, I did not know about it until you had actually sealed the publishing deal. So you took me out to celebrate. And that's when you first told me about the book. And I was upset about it. And we got into an argument. Something about Ralph is just like, I don't understand. I mean, I need to go all the way back to his childhood, his upbringing, to figure out, what kind of parents did he have? Because the way he acts with Drew, how he completely refuses to tell her big chunks of his life, the things that he's doing behind her back that are not even bad, but he just doesn't want to tell her. It boggles my mind. And if he felt like, well, I'm not going to tell her until the book is underway because she's just going to try to stop me. So you would rather her be so upset with you for not telling you than take the chance of her possibly not even having a problem with it if you were to tell her up front to begin with. Because for sure she's going to get mad that you didn't tell her, but you're not exactly sure if she's going to get mad if you told her up front that you wanted to write a book about y'all's family. She might have agreed to that. And if she didn't agree to that, you could still go on and write your damn book, but at least she would have known about it. So you want to guarantee anger and a guarantee argument instead of taking a chance of her possibly agreeing with you. That just doesn't make any sense. Marlo says that she is sorry about saying that Candy did not do enough for the community. Marlo said that she was wrong for bringing in Todd during her argument with Candy. I think when they were in Jamaica, and she talked about, Todd saying that Candy was a country bumpkin or whatever before they got married or before they started dating. She says that she regretted that. She apologized for bringing him into it. She says, that should have been an argument just between me and Candy. I had no business talking about Todd. Marlo asked Todd, what did he mean when he said that she was thirsty? And he said, because on that trip to Africa, you were just a friend of the show. But you were so desperate to go with the girls to Africa that you were willing to pay for your own ticket and to pay for your own hotel. Whereas, the other girls, everything got paid for by the show, by Bravo. That's how thirsty you were, that you would have spent your own money to travel with them on a trip that was paid for them. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said you were thirsty. And of course, Marla's going to look all confused, like, did I do that? Is that how it went down? And I got the feeling that Andy was agreeing with Todd. Like, Andy was like, yeah, I think you did. Or he said something to that effect. I thought, Andy was like agreeing with Todd when Todd said that. Candy said that she was so they talked about Candy forgiving Marlo. Was it really over a bucket of chicken? Did you really forgive Marlo because she gave you some Jamaican KFC? And Candy said, no, I forgave Marlo because my husband had already forgiven Marlo. And because the things that she said were about him and he was ready to move on, I decided that I had to, get rid of the anger, and I had to move on as well. And that's the reason why she forgave Marlo. And Marlo told her, Candy, I promise you that I'm going to show you how sorry I am. I'm not going to be just about, it's not going to be just all talk. I'm going to show you the action of me, of how sorry I am. And, Candy was like, yeah, I would appreciate that. Who knows? Because, yeah, she'll probably show her that she's sorry. And then they're going to go back to arguing about something else. Then they're going to make up. Then they're going to argue. Then they're going to make up. And that's just how it's going to go forever and ever. Amen. So that was my little review for Reunion Part 3. It's finally over. And now we can concentrate on the Real Housewives of Potomac, which I hope that y'all will definitely join me on. This season of Real Housewives was okay. This is Marlo's debut season as an official peach holder. So she did good until she had to backtrack with everything that she said at the reunion. And she had to swallow all of her words and apologize to everybody. And then it's kind of like, okay, so everything you said that was funny, whatever shade that you threw, all of that kind of meant nothing because now you're taking everything back and apologizing. Sheree got her She by Sheree thing launched off, so that's good. So that was very eventful. That was I would say the highlight of the entire season was watching the fashion show and her finally launching her fashion line. I don't know if it's AliExpress stuff that she's, up pricing. I don't know if it's Shane stuff or Shein stuff. I have no idea what's going on. The point is she's selling something when before she was selling absolutely nothing for 14 years. We can't expect her to be on the same level as, Gucci or Yves Saint Laurent or whatever. So yeah, that's my little review. I'm rambling now. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.